Hey everybody, it is late at night and I am Norman. Tonight we're doing the Battle of the Squares. So we're going to be looking at some brilliant square watches, not tanks, not rectangular watches, not squarish, just full-on square watches. So let us begin. The first watch I have on my list is the Project's Persistent. These are colorful, almost mid-century looking watches at a brilliant size, and I'm actually contemplating perhaps getting one of these. The dial is 3D and really cool looking. Such fun colors that they went with on these. The hands are great, and the color of the seconds hand works so well with the other colors of the dial. Just brilliant. Being a square watch at 35 millimeters, they might wear kind of large. I know with tank style watches, you have to be very careful of the case size. They can get oversized very quickly. But I don't know, this might be a brilliant size. I'd have to see one in person. But I can't make up my mind which colorway I like more, the orange or the one with the green in there. The case size is 35 millimeters, as I mentioned. The lug width is 18 millimeters. It has dress watch water resistance at 30 meters, and they retail for just $139. Next up, I have the Nomos Tetra. So imagine the Nomos Tangent, only square. This watch has the same brilliant Bauhaus font that the Tangent has, the same overall amazing minimalism, and of course a totally different case shape. The light dial variant with the gold hands and the light brownish colored strap, oh, that colorway just works perfectly. I've never gotten to see these watches in person, but I would absolutely love to. The dimensions sound perfect for a square watch. The case size is 27.5 millimeters. The case height is only 6.1 millimeters. The lug to lug is 38.5 millimeters. These watches are just brilliant. They're available in a number of different colorways, but they are kind of spendy. These watches retail for about $1,600. The next watch on my list is a Swatch What If, and I got to see these watches in person at the Paris airport, and they look pretty great. These are day-date watches. The dials are nice and minimal, pretty Bauhaus-y. The hands are straightforward and have some lume on them, but these are Swatch, so that lume is probably not great. I love the variant with the white dial, black markers, and black case. That watch looks pretty cool. And the case size on these watches is over 41 millimeters. And seeing them at least on display, they didn't look overly large. So maybe the Project's watch is fine at its size. The next watch on my list is the Great George New York. These watches have a minutes track that reaches in from the very edge of the dial, and inside of that are the hour markers. The font on those is very Bauhaus style, and such a unique layout, I love it. I really like the pop of color on the minutes hand. These watches just look absolutely amazing. Sadly, these were offered through a Kickstarter, and that campaign appears to be dead, as of 2016. And the pre-order link is dead as well. The last watch that I have on my list is the Julius. And this is an AliExpress watch, so it is really, really cheap. It retails for under $20. Yeah. However, it doesn't look overly thick, as I would have expected it to. The dial is brilliantly minimal, and these watches are available in a number of different colorways, but at that price point, I don't think I would trust it. The case size on these watches is 35 millimeters, the case height is 8.8 millimeters, and the crystal is maybe mineral, I would guess. I've never actually seen a square watch in person besides the swatches that I saw on display at the airport. I've never had one on the wrist though. Never actually held one. The closest that I've come to a square watch is this vintage Hamilton. This piece is nearly square. I mean, it's a square shape, but it is not just strictly a square like all the other watches we've been looking at tonight. But if I do end up getting one of those Projects watches, that would be the first square watch that I've ever worn. I feel like I may have to get one. Projects watches in general are just so fun. Yeah, I will have to ponder that. But those are some brilliant looking square watches. If any of you have owned any of these or owned a super square watch, tell me about it in the comments. Thanks for watching.